other bit. This little processor cost me like 10 bucks. I didn't want to go all out because I don't know how often I'll use it, but it seems like it's coming in handy for this recipe. Okay, I have 8 cups here of what they're calling flour, walnut flour. So, next step is getting the wet ingredients together. Let's see how this will work out. I was concentrating so much, but anyways, I ended up putting my swerve in here, and I did put the coconut flour, and it smells good. It smells so delicious. So there are the two that are mixed. Now it's asking me to put the walnut flour that I made. I have the melted butter, and I have the 8 eggs and the vanilla with the stevia in there. I'm actually making this recipe the amount of 8 times because only one time making this gives me 15 little keto gluten-free snowballs, and I need about 7 dozen. I'm adding the walnut flour that I made. It's actually just processed walnuts as you saw earlier. And I only put 4 cups of walnut in because I didn't realize my bowl was going to be, I mean, it's kind of big. Can't really give it a shot of, from the video, you can't see the shot, but it is a big bowl. But just stirring it all in real quick. And then I'm going to put the wet ingredients and form it into a ball. And once it's formed into a dough ball, let it sit on the counter for 5 minutes to cool. Alright. So I put my dry ingredients, all my flours, in a larger container, as you can see right in there, because there was no way that I would add all the wet ingredients and be able to have room to form a dough and to mulch it together. I'm actually just mixing up, making sure the nuts and flour and the coconut flour and the swerve confectioner is good. I guess that's the sugar. And I think I'm good now. So I'm going to start adding the wet ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to mix the butter in with the eggs. It was supposed to be already mixed in, but I was letting the butter cool off. I didn't want it to cook the eggs. And I'm just going to mix them here. I'm just adding a little bit more of the butter. Just add it on. Mixing my wet ingredients. This is eggs and butter and vanilla, and I'm trying to remember what else. Anyways, just follow the recipe. So I'm just lightly mixing it up, making sure it's all mixed up. All right, so I'm adding the wet with the dry. It says to use the whisk, but okay, the whisk to me is a little bit harder than using that thick fork I was using. But it's forming into, get all the sides, get all the dry, combine it in. My dough is a little too wet, so I added 2 more tablespoons of the coconut flour right here. So my dough is all set. I ended up putting 4 teaspoons of the coconut flour because it was still a little sticky. And it says you're supposed to be able to roll it in a ball without it sticking to your hands. So that's exactly what I did. So it's 4 tablespoons of flour, and it works out well. Okay, I have 2 trays of stoneware with cookies and parchment paper.
So we will see 30 minutes later. They should be ready. On 300 degrees, my oven is definitely preheated.
The first batch is out of the oven, and you can see that they are pretty firm. They're a little toasty on top. What I'm going to do while they're warm is I'm going to roll them inside this little swerve, give them an outside powdery touch to them while they're warm, and then I'm going to place them in this container, which I'm going to transport because I'm actually making them for a cookie exchange for tomorrow. So we will see. Finished product, here we go. Okay, so I have my first 2 dozens right here. And my second set right here. Looking good.
Well, here they are. They look delicious. Keto, gluten-free, walnut snowballs.
So after completing all 8 dozens of the keto gluten-free walnut snowballs, which are very similar to the Mexican wedding cookies or the Italian cookie, wedding cookies, same thing. They're just gluten-free and keto-free, or keto. And 8 dozen, total cost to make these was shy of $39. So like $4.81 a dozen. Doing it all together from start to finish without any interruptions would have been about 2.5 hours. I took longer because I was videotaping, but they are delicious. I had my daughter try one and she liked it, which is nice. So I'm gonna stand over the sink and eat one right here. They do fall apart. There you go, just like the regular cookies. And they're very moist. I was contemplating if I wanted to cook them just a little bit more, but I read in the comment sections that somebody was complaining about them being a little too dry, so I decided not to. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video, and this is my first time making any type of keto gluten-free cookie, so I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.